Okay, thank you very much. I want to thank each of you for these very moving and very powerful papers that you have given us. I would like to just sort of, well, this is sort of an open sort of question time, but I would just like to start off by asking each of you, I was originally going to ask you about the visual arts, but what do you think the work that you're doing and the art that you're making, or the research, the archaeological work that you're doing, each of you, what do you think really brings your work to the attention of the world? We want, well, I think the idea is that we want more visibility for Sikhism. And how do you think your work is helping? I mean, I think it's very obvious in some ways, but if you could just, in just a few minutes, we'll start with you.
Well, I don't know exactly what to say. I mean, when you are working on history, there is always an impact, which might be positive, might be negative. Working on Sikh history in Pakistan is not extremely easy, as you might understand. But also, what's interesting is to try to move into territories which have been either erased by succession of rulers or political system, or which have been forgotten, and try to replace as much as we can through history, but also through archaeology and through heritage, the facts as we know them in a larger context, human context, historical context, political context. And in the field of Sikh history, which is precisely my case, you see, being married to a Punjabi and being a French, is to emphasize this connection between the Sikh Empire and the French, as they were. French serving in the Punjab, but also the connection between the French and the Punjabi, which I try to show you a little bit in the presentation, and which we'll find more in the chapter of this book.
Thank you.
You know, whatever one does in the solitude of one studio is based on, you know, things you've grown up with, the Gurbani that you've heard all the time, the Guru Granth Sahib in the house, and you know, the Miri Piri aspect, the social aspect, the langar aspect, the service aspect. So whatever you express is a compulsion on your canvas, and it kind of, forums like these or books that are published takes that work to the general public. And for that, one is always grateful that what one has done for oneself, really, in solitude, is then touching or reaching out. And for that, I say thanks to the Almighty.
Well, compared with what Mahinder Singh is doing and Bobby is doing, I feel quite humbled, because obviously the challenges of what they're doing are extraordinary and the achievements are extraordinary. From the perspective of a UK institution, I just say the thing, I suppose the most productive thing, is to take any opportunity which is going, which might provide the possibility of doing some sort of event or exhibition. So if there is a political initiative, for instance, which provides funding or a perspective that we could channel something Sikh, Punjabi into, then we seize the opportunity. But I mean, compared with what you're doing, it's rather small, I think.
I just feel that there should be more awareness, more seminars, and more conferences, because I think not many people realise what's happening, and I think in order to reach a certain level, we need to do more talks and more seminars and raise awareness simply, because I think it's more like teamwork. One person can't do anything. I'm working with a team half the time, and it's really hard. But when there's more people who think like you, who are passionate, who are passionate about their culture and their heritage, then anything is possible. I never thought I would be a writer or I would be a historian or I'd be doing this. I was an importer. I sold my company in 2008 just to concentrate on this. I was earning lots of money as an importer, but I enjoyed what I'm doing, and it puts me in touch with people I would never meet. I'll be honest, I meet all sorts of people now, and I get fulfillment. And I get fulfillment because I achieve something that I want to do, I want to implement, and it gives others role models. I get people now who are now visiting Pakistan from Patiala University, from Amritsar. Simply they saw me talk, saw my lectures, and all I say to them, if I can go, why can't you? And I just recently sent 10 students from Patiala University to Lahore because they felt so passionate that if Bobby can go there, then why can't we go there? So it's good for the next generation. We're just nurturing the next generation to take on the work to the next level. Simple.
Peter.
Okay. Well, I think it's important to keep the legacy of Dalip Singh going, whether it's in books or media. We've recently been involved in a film starring Satinder Sartaaj and Shabana Azmi on the life of Maharaja Dalip Singh. I've done some consultancy work on this film, and we're hoping that this will give the Dalip Singh story a global audience. People will realize who Maharaja Dalip Singh was, where we came from, how he was treated. His destiny was never in his hands. He was a puppet throughout his life. And it's important to know what happened to him, what happened to his children after he died. So I think it's important that the legacy goes on. And hopefully this film will be a platform for more projects on the life of Maharaja Dalip Singh.
I think everybody said great answers. It's a very big question. I'm just reflecting on my own perspective and history. I've been fortunate right out of graduate school to go into a highly public position at a national museum in a large capital like Washington with lots of international visitors and so on. And that gives us an interesting perspective. I think, though, that I would distinguish the kind of quiet, personal research projects, which in a whole lifetime, you can only do a few of them. You know, really, you don't have that much time, that those things that you concentrate on for your work. But then sometimes we've been fortunate to get a public platform. I think bringing people together to put together something like Sikh's Legacy of the Punjab, which was in its first year was seen by probably 7 to 10 million people, and it just continued year after year. Like the Energizer Bunny of exhibits, we call it, because it kept traveling. It was just closed in Texas and so on. I think that was an opportunity to build a lot of things around it that were not mine at all.